This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American, living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You find Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. This is open mic. What I'm trying to do on this series, listeners, if you were to visit my YouTube channel, you would find a playlist for open mic. There's several examples. One is Burundi. The idea was one of my first ones. The idea it was unachieved, but the idea it was terror violence in Burundi, and I trust it continues today. But it went onto Twitter and trended at a high rate, very high tweet rate, very high on the list of trends, because the U.S. had issued a warning to tell citizens to leave the country. While it was trending, I had this great idea, unachieved but great idea, to tweet to some of these people and engage them to join me here on Google Hangouts via voice. So here it's violence triggered into the headlines of the United States issuing a warning, and potentially I would be talking with people in or with a personal national interest in Burundi. It was a great idea, it didn't happen. But some things, so the expected thing, the target thing did not happen. However, some unexpected things did happen. One is I found some recreational pleasure in this open mic series, and I've continued it. That's the first good thing that happened. The second thing is, listeners, if you were to find a Google Hangout for under open mic playlist, YouTube playlist, open mic, find Colonel. Here's a guy who called me. No, he didn't join my Hangout in the way I'm trying to solicit people to join. He joined by a phone call. Because he was by phone and not by Google Hangout, his voice was faint. Since his voice was faint, it was not the target quality, sound, audio quality, and it was not the target. The content of his purpose for calling me was not the target of the open mic. However, he was entertaining. This man had remarkable voice quality. He had these quirky, threatening phrases memorized, rehearsed. And again, listeners, if you were to find my YouTube channel, click on playlist, find open mic, and scan just maybe 5 of them to date, and it says the Colonel or Colonel. This man asked me to call me Colonel, call him Colonel. He thought he earned it. He claimed to be in active. No, he denied. He tried to find out if he was active service, and he denied me an answer, avoided my questions. But he claimed to be a colonel and claimed to be at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Kept saying things like, "Do you know how to defend your country?" And just these really wacky, army-like statements. So again, back to Burundi. I didn't get what I targeted. However, I did get some positive and unexpected things. The most important is that I found this was fun. The purpose was recreational anyway, social, recreational. Keep a middle-aged man off the streets and out of trouble type stuff. I didn't get what I was seeking on Burundi, but I got some unexpected benefits. Those primarily helped me continue the series, and I netted this colonel in Guantanamo Bay, allegedly Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. I say allegedly because he was not credible. He dialed in with a name. He denied that was his name, and only name he gave me was Colonel. So, anyways, it was fun. And tonight, what's trending is political news in Brazil. They've named a new finance minister. So I'll be following that tweet. The idea is that I look for tweets that are my first choice is to have tweets that the person has written him or herself In other words, rather than just clicking on a news story and say, auto tweet me to Twitter, New York Times, probably every news today does this. BBC are the ones I'm most familiar with, BBC, New York Times. What happens is those, along with each story, there's a scripted tweet, and so I avoid those because the New York Times has written them, BBC has written them. I'm trying to find something that has been written by the person tweeting, and that's what I'll begin doing now. So I find these people. Again, this man's name is Nelson Barbosa. He has just been named um, finance minister of Brazil, which of course is a gigantic job. And a lot of people care. It is the belief of the people who create the Twitter list in Twitter that not enough people care because it's not on the Twitter list in my Twitter. So my Twitter list knows that I'm an American, knows that my primary language is English, and it really has no direct connection between me and Brazil. So Nelson Barbosa is not on my tweet list. However, an alternate international list that I use, he is there. And very soon I will. I've already checked this. The tweets were very high. Yeah, see, here's just a half minute. I get 8 more tweets. So I'll begin looking for a tweet. And here's one right here. And as I expected, now they're in Portuguese, most of them. And this profile is this man is Catholic. He's conservative, and I don't need a translator to do that. I don't think anyone who speaks English would need a translator to do this. The words are basically English words misspelled. So I will begin. This is a man, so I will say Catholic, conservative man. Oh, I don't know why Nelson Barbosa doesn't even get in his tweet, but somehow Google, somehow Twitter knows. So maybe it's because of the attachment. I've seen that before. I just don't see it in this time. Maybe it's maybe it's lost in the language. So he is saying no command of econ. Again, I'm doing from Portuguese without translation, so but it doesn't really matter. This is Twitter. There's a lot of misunderstanding in Twitter. What a misunderstanding, even when things are clearly written. People often want to read. Jonathan Capehart of the Washington Post is one that regularly, probably 10 times a day, did you read what I wrote? Did you read? So in other words, he's being criticized. And he says, did you read what I wrote? In other words, he's accusing these people of not reading what he wrote. Well, he writes a full multi-page editorial. Well, he should be able to articulate himself clearly, and I trust he does, but people don't read it. But people do read 140 characters. Both are misunderstood. In both cases, people read what they want. So anyways, here we go. Here's my first tweet. I found a man tweeted 2 minutes ago. His name's Carlos Arujo, and he is a Catholic conservative man, and he writes, no command of econ. Again, my translations of Portuguese. Nelson Barbosa. And then I put my Google link and my JPEG image. There goes my first. So my first tweet is done. I really need 40 minutes. I've done these before. Um, and I had as little as 40 minutes, and it was sort of productive. But it would have been more productive if I had continued. An hour is good, and a couple hours is better. Now, the best time lapse I had to date was Hoboken, where I did it for like an hour. I took a dinner break, did a little drinking, tried to get a little bit drunk, didn't get drunk enough, didn't reach my target drunkenness, and but I returned after a pizza and a bit of drinking and did it for another hour. That was perfect. It was 2 hours of hangout with a dinner break in between. It's just great. Um, 36 new tweets. So again, I begin the process again. I begin the process a second time. This is it, listeners. If you're listening for the first time, I do this again. I do it for an hour. Tonight, it's 4:50. My wife finishes work at 6. Supposedly, it's holiday. She often works a little later, and I'm waiting for DHL to show up here and take a package from me, which I hope happens in the next hour. So I sit for an hour, and I do this. So I look for tweets that are written by a person who is the person behind the tweet, rather than some pre-script, news organization that has just been tweeted by a click. I'm looking for people that actually wrote their own words, and I've gotten a little better at finding them, even in a language I don't fully understand. I know a decent amount of Spanish, and so I can recognize some words that I wouldn't be able to if I didn't know Spanish. But the Portuguese I know is only through similarity to Spanish. Here's a person. Seems to be her own thing, her own words. Her name, she tweeted 5 seconds ago, her name is Elaine Silveira. Silveira. So I'll follow Elaine. Elian is a woman. And okay, so I don't know what she says about herself in context, but I picked out 2 things. And I forgot the second one, BBB and political. So, this makes sense. Her tweet is here. Nelson Barbosa. And in her profile, she's political. So I'm going to say BBB, just something else from her profile that I don't know what it means. In the U.S., that means Better Business Bureau. I highly would be surprised if it means the same thing there. She could be an employee for the Brazil Better Business Bureau. I have a feeling one of those triple Bs is Brazil. It has nothing to do with the Better Business Bureau, but it doesn't matter. BBB, political woman, and Reposta. So this is Mantenga, which is, I think it's the exact spelling of a Spanish word. So I'm going to write keep Nelson Barbosa, which is, I think, what she means. And I put my Twitter link, and then I go for my JPEG Now, tweet number 2 is done. Now, each time I do this, I forget about clearing my files. I get a grab folder where I get my JPEG, and when it's got extra files in it, it's slower. And today it has quite a few that I accumulated in the last 24 hours. And some of them are PDFs, some of them are kind of big, so because of that, it slows it down a little more. So I'm getting rid of my Baltimore one, which is last night. Yeah, here's a picture for Adam. And there's, 8, probably 12 different pictures that are going to the trash. It should give me 3 remaining, and it does. So that should speed up my tweeting a little bit. Again, Tom Duty, middle-aged American. I'm at a Dunkin' Donuts very near the Lincoln Tunnel. I'm following a trend, Nelson Barbosa, and he has recently been named finance minister of Brazil. He is trending right now, and it's not TV show hot. It's not NFL hot. But there's quite a few people. Despite not being a maximum frequency, it's enough. And Brazil is sort of in the time zone I'm in, so it's probably not going to die because people go to bed. So now I begin. Here we go, 6 new results. Okay. This is a little slower than I expected it, but we'll see. Yeah, see, here's one Asia TV. These are the types of ones that I skip. And I got a notification. It could be, it's really early for me to have a notification on what I'm doing with this Hangout. I've only done 2 tweets, but maybe. So this Festival for Fine Arts, this is not, someone followed me. Yeah, one person followed me. And Nelson. One person followed me. It has nothing to do with, it may be because I'm active on Twitter right now. And it has nothing to do with Nelson Barbosa. So the person who followed me is, I love movies a lot. And the tweet was about movies. So, and it was in English, so it is probably not Nelson Barbosa. It's probably no one in Brazil or no one with a special interest in Nelson Barbosa. Barbosa. So now I continue my Twitter scanning. And I've determined that notification is not related to what's happening in Brazil, not related to my current tweets. This awesome. So I'm not going to try to count, but I'm going to give up very soon. But I do think this is the 3rd. I got Silvano Silva. What a cool name. And Silvano is wrapped in a flag. He looks like a soccer player, and quite honestly, it might not be Silvano, but it doesn't matter. It is a person behind this, and it's a marketing director, Rio de Janeiro. So I will say Marketing Pro Rio de Janeiro. Oh, yeah, I misspelled Janeiro. I don't know how to spell that word. Janeiro. Damn it. Maybe I do know how to spell it, but Google doesn't. Anyways, I could go back here. Janeiro. No, I did it wrong. It's EIRO. EIRO. Marketing Pro Rio de Janeiro. And see if I can figure out what he's tweeted here. This is Secretary of Finance when Brazil. I got enough of this, so I'm going to say Sec de Finance, and I'll say Nelson Barbosa. Add my Google link. And go for my JPEG. And it was supposed to appear faster, and it's not, but it's fast enough. There it is, and tweet. So off goes my tweet to Silvano Silva, and that was 3 minutes ago. His tweet was 3 minutes ago. Mine was seconds ago. In that time that elapsed, 20 more tweets. So this is not like Freddie Gray, which was producing 60, 70, 80 tweets in that time, but it is hot. Hot enough. I wish it were better. So now I'm looking for another tweet. Okay. Yeah, see, it's a. This guy is not only great because I like his content, he's great because I can read it. So, data mining, political geek man. See, this is great. So, this man, it appears to be Portuguese. So, data mining, political geek man, and see, sometimes they call him, maybe it's just a translation, maybe it's a difference of opinion, but in some tweets they're calling Barbosa a finance minister, and in other tweets they're calling him a Secretary of Finance. Probably doesn't matter. It's probably unimportant. So I'm going to do what Alan does. This tweet is going to Alan Godoy S. Mayo, and he tweeted 3 minutes ago. So new, and I'm going to switch it to English. So I'm going to capitalize finance, new finance, Minister Nelson Barbosa. And I add my Google link. And off goes my tweet to Alan Godoy, who tweeted 3 minutes ago. Alan Godoy S. Mayo. It seems that Brazil, at least that man, continued that quirky Spanish Portuguese naming thing, but not universally. A lot of people use two names. Here's one of them. Yeah, it's amazing how much of this I can read. Okay, so I am going to look up my first word here because I think this is entrepreneur. And the door. I'd love it if I was right. Uh, translate. Entendedor. Yep, it recognizes it as Portuguese. And unfortunately, entendedor. Let me see if I spelled it right. Uh, entendedor. No, I got it. I got it. Entendedor. Yeah. Good. I got a A instead of an E. Entendedor. And it still doesn't translate it. Why not? Entendedor. Let me Google just that word and see what happens. Uh, Entendedor. Oh. Knowledgeable. So if he's knowledgeable, I'm going to upgrade him to expert. So it's not entrepreneur. So it is. He is. Uh, Descritor. Let's see what descritor is. I think descri. I'm not going to look that up. It's got to be writer. Uh, so let's go with that. And he's a writer. Uh, knowledgeable writer. How about that? Knowledgeable writer, man. Great, but it's okay. Knowledge. L-E-D-G-E. E-E-D-G-E. Knowledgeable. W-R-I-T. Knowledgeable writer, man. Uh, and his tweet is Nelson Barbosa. And he uses some words, and I'm going to change it to not. So it seems like not. So this man that I'm typing now, Joe Quim Levy. So that's either the predecessor or it was the competitor for the post. Either way, my word not captures captures either meaning, so I think I'm safe. I gotta get and post my Google link. There goes Google link. Oh. Oh. Oh, damn. Oh. Okay. And we're off. In that very long time, including a reposition of my name tag, there were 72 more tweets, which is good. Lawyer, blogger, this is great. Drafter, painter, overall. This man does not lack self-confidence. Sounds very ambitious. Describes himself as great. So I will too. He has a profile in English. He tweets in Portuguese. And now it's another name for this guy. Now he's a nuevo. Oh, he tweets in Spanish. So we're talking about a Portuguese. This is an international tweet. This guy has English. First of all, his name. And 2 minutes ago, he tweeted it says Hectorowski. Hectorowski is his. Hectorowski is his Twitter name, and his profile is in English. And he calls himself great. Great. I like great people. Like Mahatma Gandhi was great. Abraham Lincoln was great. And this man is great too. So he tweeted a few minutes ago. He tweeted 2 minutes ago. His profile is in English. His subject is Brazil, which is language Portuguese, and he tweets in Spanish. So this right here, it's a very international tweet. So here we go. I'm just gonna, since this guy called him he calls himself great. I'm not going to use any other words for him, but he's got plenty of them that I could use. And he tweeted in English. His profile's in English, so I could pick up much. But I'm just going to do great man. I don't know what hacienda is, so I know that Nelson Barbosa. So I'm going to say Nelson Barbosa. Barbosa, new finance minister, and I add my Google link, and now I go looking for my JPEG, which is now uploaded, and okay. And in that time, I got another 46 tweets. So I got this man on his hot is like Justin Bieber's new father, which was another one I considered, but it's hot. So there's a tweet I can definitely read, even though it's in Portuguese. Yeah, so this Oscar is a man, and I got enough on him. So this is Oscar Mudrongo. Oscar Mudrongo tweeted 1 minute ago. And he is a critic. He's Rio de Janeiro. So that's enough for me. So I say Rio de Janeiro. E-I-R-O. E-I-R-O. I got it right that time. E-I-R-O. Rio de Janeiro. Critic. and now Nelson Barbosa, and again, this is in Portuguese, new finance and minister. Add my Google link, and there goes my JPEG, and off we go with another. Now I'm 5:15. If I reach 6 o'clock and DHL is not here, then I'm going to turn my attention to finding DHL. Testing. But DHL, according to a form I completed about an hour ago, DHL is supposed to be coming to get that. Okay, and in that time, 39 tweets. 39 new tweets. You know, I'm sitting in this cafe after much effort. This is not natural for me to talk in a hushed voice, but I can do it, and I'm really not attracting any noteworthy attention. Still relevant. There's 4 new tweets. Still no relevant notifications. At this for about 30 minutes. Okay, here we go. Here's William. Okay, this man is easy. He did a picture of himself moving the luggage around. He's also wearing a tie. He doesn't appear to be a luggage handler. Those people certainly wouldn't be allowed to wear a tie. They get caught in equipment. So he is a journalist, though, and the word's in Portuguese, but it's clear. I don't need to translate. So he is a media pro man. His name is William Wake Espiau. Tweeted 2 minutes ago. And he's got Nelson Barbosa. And I don't know what he's written. So I'll just say Nelson. I can Barbosa. Nelson Barbosa. And 4 to La Semana. Serson, I don't know. There's where I can't pronounce, so I add my Google link. And JPEG. That was not the best tweet. I'm too lazy to take the time to translate his tweet, so I just put Nelson Barbosa. But I was able to find out. I was able to translate words from his profile. Oops. Clicked in the wrong place. Might have lost my feed. Here's one I can definitely read. Gestor. And then also, this one's great. It's all in Portuguese, but it's very easy. So this is I'm going to call him a finance man. New finance in Nelson Barbosa. Add my Google link. I got to add my Google link. And there we go. Bang. And that was Rogerio Lima. So he has the same last name as a famous city in Peru. Lima. Rogerio Lima. He tweeted 1 minute ago. 2 minutes ago. And in that time, I got 18 more tweets. Okay, this person has a picture of Nelson. Yeah, this person's easy. He appears to be of Japanese descent. Sakamori. You know, so his ancestry probably traces to Japan. Probably, 3 or 4 generations now. This would be post-World War II immigration. If he's part of the mass immigration that went to South America from Japan. So. This is very easy because I'm going to call him a money market pro man. And let's see what he says about Nelson. Nelson Barbosa, country, C-O-U-N-T, country, finance, minister. With that, I get my Google link and my JPEG. Here we go. I knew I could do this in Portuguese, but I didn't. I expected it to be slightly harder than it is. I'm tripping over a few of these tweets from clumsiness of the language, but I'm achieving my goals without a lot of trouble. Yeah, so there's is a tweet that is not a person. It is looks like a radio station. Oh, man, I would say in general these tweets are less contaminated by anonymous profiles. These Portuguese people seem to be using themselves. The tweets are just sort of, I guess, the way Twitter had it imagined. There's a face in the profile picture, and there's a relevant background, and a profile that describes a person, and the person seems to be tweeting. So it's that of course happens in all places on all topics, but it seems to be a higher percentage here. So let's see. There we go. So I'm going to ban this. I wasn't real inspired by it anyways. So I have my first interaction, and it is relevant. And it's got oh God, just a gorgeous picture. Okay, so this is the first interaction I've had. I have no way to tell exactly how. Oh, and now bam, right on the. So this is what happens. I'm about 40 minutes of this, and all of a sudden now I got two interactions. This is great. So let me do the first one first. Brazil. This is a Brazil football org, and they have followed me, and they've got an awesome, it's an absolutely spectacular picture of the harbor of Rio de Janeiro. Just beautiful. And it's a blog dedicated to the quality of Brazil sports. So that gives me enough to go on, and this is better that this is Brazil football, because the first tweet is of Nelson Barbosa. So I'm going to call this a Brazil soccer blog org, and I'm going to say follows me. I'm going to put my Google link and say grazie, and then I'm going to put, to stay consistent, I'm going to put Nelson Barbosa. Well, that is awesome. So there we go. Brazil. So now I got, again, this Brazil football organization has followed me. It's my first relevant interaction. And so I have written Brazil soccer blog org, follows me, put my Google link and said grazie. And then I added the tag Nelson Barbosa. And then I put my JPEG. So off that was. So that's cool. I got a follower. And now I'm going to go find my other notification, which is that Japanese man. He appears to be Brazil, of Japanese descent. And I've got this I'm going to do something with my Twitter account when I hit 575 followers, and I'm not there yet. And I was there, and then I dropped back, and now I'm 2 away. So Sakamori has, I don't know what he's done. It seems that he's just So I'm going to say Logman RT'd me, add my Google link, say grazie, Nelson Barbosa, and I'm going to add my JPEG. So this is absolutely awesome. Listeners, I'll repeat my intro. It's relevant to repeat at this point. Simultaneously, I got my first and my second interaction of this Nelson Barbosa open mic. So I will review my purpose of this thing. I started with one of my first ones was Burundi. I had this idea, I'll do an open mic. Nelson Barbosa. So now I got the search going again. I got 30 minutes and I have to go see if I'm gonna get my DHL pros here. A lot of vehicles passing by. Just need DHL to stop. So, look at this, how crazy this is. Nice. I got a email from my sister. Let's see the picture from my mother. Show in folder. This is just lovely. Oh, and my operating system automatically turned it in the right direction. God, my mother looks great. She's wearing a red sweater. She's got a fur collar, and she's standing in front of a wood grain door with a Christmas wreath. God, she just looks great. So I will write back, awesome sis. Grazie for Al Pick, Ellen. I'll say what everyone says upon seeing a pic of mom. She looks great. Happy. I should spell happy right. Happy, healthy. Uh, and put a picture. I will put a picture. Oh shit. I gotta take another picture because I deleted it. Yeah, and I can't take another picture. So, inline pics. This picture will make no sense to her. I'll do my open mic pic. Uh, Whatever. It says something about what I'm doing right now. And so, gosh, what a nice surprise! What a nice surprise. Uh, okay. Testing, testing. I'm still live. And that was a break from my mother, which is one of the reasons this activity is so fun. Whatever I generate on this hangout is less significant than me getting news about my mother. My sister is a firstborn, and in addition to it being natural for her to be in charge, she has also delegated herself to be primary caregiver for my mother. And she's just doing an excellent job. Okay, and I will say a qualifier, and not just excellent compared to someone I know who's doing not as excellent. Excellent in the standard to as good as anyone can do. It really is a peaceful, calming feeling for me to know my mother's in such good care. Let's get back to Nelson. 20 minutes. I'm going to turn my attention to DHL if they haven't gotten here yet. It just seems, 6 o'clock is not too late for them to, fix a pickup and get here. If there's a problem on a pickup order. Oh. Okay. So Levy is replaced by Barbosa. And now I'm going to go back to my notifications. Yeah, Sakamori is my most recent one, so I've got nothing new. I've tended to both of these. Yeah. Okay. So, Nelson Barbosa. Uh, uh, I assume voto means vote, but it doesn't make sense in this. Sato. So I have enough. This tweet is Belia. It's a curious politician 59 seconds ago. And I don't know if it's a man or a woman. It's Anna. It seemed kind of feminine. I'm going with woman. So, curious political woman. Let's see what I can figure out. Questioning Nelson Barbosa. I'm going to do exactly that. Question Ning Nelson Barbosa. Gonna add my Google link. Look for my JPEG. Not the picture of my mother, which I just downloaded. And off goes that tweet. Well, the Dunkin' Donuts people just burnt something. Just charred black bread and toaster smell. I wish that would clear soon. I can't believe there's no smoke detectors happening. Oh, and ciao, mama. There goes my mom's picture. Out of my grab file, which makes getting my open mic JPEG a little easier. I resume. Let's close some of these windows. So as I was saying before I got the notice of my mother's picture is before I got the notice of my mother's picture, I was saying that this is cool. I'm following this trend. And here I've got 3-4 people in Brazil who seem to be in Brazil or with a personal national interest in the country, in the country's economy, in this replacement of a man named Levy with Nelson Barbosa. So, and I've got interaction from these people. It is possible that for minutes or perhaps currently some of them, it's not only but it's set up to favor that happening, that maybe someone's listening to me and maybe someone will actually join me here in voice. Now, my history has shown that they don't. The idea that someone clicks, they're immediately inspired spontaneously to join me has not happened. However, I did have 1-2 voices now join me on the Hangout. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm having a little fun. I'm waiting for DHL. I'm very near the Lincoln Tunnel. I could leave here and walk to the Lincoln Tunnel in about 5 minutes. So now I go back to my Nelson Barbosa feed. 57 new tweets. And again, Brazil is roughly the same time zone as. And this is a different Japanese man. No, it's the same under a different profile. He's got these sunflowers. I remember that. So I've already got a follow and a retweet from him, so I'm not going to do anything with him right now. I'll go past him. Let's see what Filho says. Asuntos Cristo. I know Cristo is Christ. I know Historia. Okay, this is really easy. So I'm going to follow him. So this is 38 seconds ago. Moraes Filho. And so I'm going to write, look at his profile again. I don't know what asuntos means, but he has Christ, history, political man. Christ is to translate history. History, political man. Now let's see if I can figure out what his tweet says. How PT, I don't know what a PT is. C'est du Nelson Barbosa, an equivalent. thinking I can definitely pick out the meaning of a few of these words, but not enough. Not enough to make sense of it. So I'm gonna just do what I've done before. Nelson, he mentions Levy. So Nelson Barbosa, not, I'm going to say follows, since I know Nelson is now the successor of Levy. Nelson Barbosa follows Levy. Ah. And I'm going to add my Google link. And my JPEG. 15 minutes. I got to hunt my DHL appointment. Maybe they don't want to come to Dunkin' Donuts. They've done this kind of thing before for me, a restaurant in Lower Manhattan. 15 minutes will be 6 o'clock. It's still not too late to call. I'll probably do it about 5 to 6. Christ, history, political man. So anyway, Morais, Filho. And it tweeted 3 minutes ago. And in the meantime, I got 50 new tweets. So this is plenty busy enough. This is easy. He has Instagram, and he gives his Instagram ID. So I'm going to call him an Instagram man. And he says, Nelson Barbosa al fundar and mais economic. I just don't know this word. He puts a capital. Garde. Piores. Damn, I can make nothing out of that, so I'm just going to go. I'm going to play it safe. Instagram man Nelson. Add my Google link. And there we go. Bang, bang. Okay, so this is going to Emmanuel Basilio Jr. And it was 2 minutes ago. He tweeted 2 minutes ago. My tweet is going now. Ciao. So this one is really easy. It appears to be a person. Angelo. Anelo. Looks like I gave it the Spanish pronunciation. Looks like a Portuguese pronunciation. I'm sure I can get enough out of this, so I'm going to follow Anelo. And Antecedente in su libertad. Este blog. He's a political blog man. That's all I need. I followed him. I got a political blog man. And this is easy. This is. So I say political blog man. I'd like to call him a pro. But the translation makes me doubt, so he could be an amateur like me. So Nelson, new finance minister. Add my Google link. Go from my JPEG. Oh. I don't know if I did that right, but anyways, I think it went. I just where are you? And hello. Here it goes. Maybe I messed up. I don't see it. Whatever. Maybe that tweet didn't go. And I can't. On hello. There he is. Oh yeah, my tweet did not go. Here it is. Fantastic. So anyways, on Anelo Reed just tweeted 3 minutes ago. He is what I'm calling a political blog man. And Nelson Barbosa, new finance minister, is my tweet. Added my Google link and my JPEG, and now it would have been caught in my drafts and would never have seen the light of day. So this, yeah, I suspected that would be. So now my task again. I repeat the same thing. I gotta quit very soon. Selene, those are her eyes. They're striking. Definitely photographed to look that way. Director, constitutional. The only word I get is Constitution, so I'm going to go with it. She's a Constitution woman. Oh shoot. She retweets, which I usually try to skip when I'm kind of committed. So I'm going to call her a constitutional woman. So Nelson Barbosa. I'm just going to say is able because I recognize some form of the word poder, which is probably the same as Spanish. I add my Google link. I find my JPEG. And there goes my tweet to, which I try to overlook, but I caught it too late. She is Selene Almeida. She tweeted 4 minutes ago. And with that, I'm going to break. This has been Tom, and I might resume before the night's over. Can't be sure. I'm at Dunkin' Donuts, New Jersey, very near the Lincoln Tunnel. When I left this Dunkin' Donuts, I could walk to the Lincoln Tunnel in less than 5 minutes. my walking would stop there. You cannot walk through the Lincoln Tunnel. I mean, it's possible. There's a walkway along the side of the tubes, but not legal for. Um, it's restricted, authorized only. So from Dunkin' Donuts, Weehawken, New Jersey, very near the Lincoln Tunnel. Been following a trend of Nelson Barbosa. Uh, and This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the combined Tom Duty in a Google search from my site. I'm going to get this in the hands of DHL conductores. Have a good day, good evening, a restful night's sleep. Ciao.